Sounds okay.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we'll get started shortly. Just going to give people a couple of minutes to roll through. And in the meantime, I will set up some lo-fi music, which you guys are more than welcome to join me on. And yeah, we'll get started very shortly. Welcome back, Pilly. Good to have you. Good to have you. Okay, you just started the recording. Cool. Let's see. Okay, let me just double check everyone's here. I'm going to also start the event here. Okay. Cool. I'm going to give one more minute. Cool. All right, we'll get the show on the road and we'll let people flow in as they do. GM, what's up? Okay, Pilly is recording, so I'd say let's get the show on the road. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Index Office Hours. Today is the 22nd of July, and this is Index Office Hours 217. For anyone who is new to Index Office Hours, this is the town square where graph ecosystem participants come together and discuss the most important and relevant topics for indexes. You know what I'm going to say next. This is a conversation, and we do love participation, so feel free to get involved in today's conversation via voice or text. And just let me know if you're having any challenges with your microphone, and I will try and get that sorted as it relates to the voice aspect of today's conversation. As a reminder, this session is going to be recorded and posted onto public channels like YouTube. So if you are concerned about privacy, please bear that in mind. And with that, let's get the show on the road. As always, I hand over to our regularly scheduled Reaper Watch section host, which is Carlos. And so, really take the mic, Carlos.
Hi everyone. This week Rewatch is a bit quieter, so I'm guessing the hard fork from Polygon is kind of settling down. We have a new patch release from Nethermind. It's now on 1.32.3. It is a mandatory upgrade depending on the chains you're running with Nethermind. Otherwise, it may not be a very, very urgent upgrade. There has been a couple of 𝗨𝗀𝗂 v2. This is the new repo for 𝗨𝗀𝗂 patch versions, and we're now at 0.2.12. And there's been a new release from Streaming Fast for Polygon Firehose, which is now at version 2.2.9. And you are recommended to update if you're running that. Nothing on consensus layer clients. GraphStack also is where it was last week. We do have a few Launchpad charts to report. So there's been new releases for ProxyD, Nimbus, Lighthouse, Aragon, GraphNode, and 𝗨𝗀𝗂. They're all up to the latest versions currently available. with some notes on the graph node. One is has an updated dashboard for the schema changes for graph node post 0.39. So if you're running that upgrade, and there's a new chart. How we opted to create a new chart for MDAL v2. So this is the first release of this chart, and if you're running that, you may want to check it out. And that's all for this week on Repo Watch. I'm handing out to Juan now for Protocol Watch.
Thanks, Carlos. Okay, starting with Protocol Watch. We don't have anything to cover for forum governance, but we do have the core dev updates for forum research. That includes GraphOps, StreamingFast, Pinax, Semiotic, Wonderland, and Edge Node. As always, these core dev monthly updates are pretty lengthy in themselves, so they are all linked in the agenda. And if you're interested in any of the core development team work, you can just go into the agenda and go into each of those threads yourself. For the contracts repository, we have some small chore PRs for stuff like fixing some minor issues in comments, bumping some versions, and nothing major. And nothing on the network subgraphs, unfortunately. So that's pretty much it for today's Protocol Watch. I'm going to be handing over to Kate now.
Hello. Kind of similar to our previous updates. We have moved our chapel report on with our POI investigation for governance voting. So I'll have a more concise idea of timeline around if and when rewards will be activated for chapel. It's looking good, but whenever we have to do a POI investigation, again, our findings were pretty concise in terms of the issue being, I have mentioned this before, around the change in the block schema and different clients having a different approach to that. And I've drafted kind of like a memo for our docs that folks can use as like a reference point. Although we know that clients always kind of update and change, so it's hard to keep track. So I'll be able to give more concise information next week and give you a clear idea around timeline. I just don't like to speak too soon when voting is in process, but we have moved that forward. And we're looking toward Unichain as a next chain to start testing. So I'll give you more information on that once we get that process going. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. So Superchain. Nice. We have another section which we have discussed in the past, and I want to create space for. So if anyone has any challenges they're facing at the moment, any sort of things that they would like to bring up with other indexers, so that we can either get them addressed here on the spot, or maybe take them down as notes and then come back to you on. We're happy to do that. So yeah, this is the indexer support segment of today's conversation. If anyone has anything they've been struggling with lately and perhaps would like to share, would love to create space for that. So yeah, feel free to share either in the chat or hop on the mic, whatever is the easiest. If anything is on your mind right now, or you would love some support. Also, great opportunity to follow up on anything that has been spoken about in the past, if that hasn't been done already. So if there's anything that needs following up on, then yeah, we can also cover that in today's conversation as well. So yeah, anyone like to propose something? Just having a look at the chat. I was noticing a bunch of comments in subgraph development and query subgraphs. The different indexes sometimes return different results. Any comment on this? Okay, is that a question for the wider indexer all the indexes here in the chat, Matthew? Whoever wants to comment on it. Okay, yeah, sure. And then there's a question here: when graph node with grafting release? I think yeah. So yeah, we've got some chat there. I think we've got some Edgenode folks in here who are working on grafting. So I see typing in the chat. This week it's been delayed in testing. Okay, there you go. Awesome, awesome. Oh, Joseph, you want to come in? I see that you've unmuted there. Maybe that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see. So, Mickey asks, do you mean index agent? Index agent, not graph node. No, it's all good. It's all good, Joseph. Anyone want to comment on the stuff that Matthew's discussing there? I see Mickey is oh no, she's responding to Vince actually. That's different. So anyone want to chime in on what Matthew has just shared there? Anyone have experience with this and has noticed this as well? There's a couple of threads happening in the chat. Okay, TLDR, we know this is a problem. We assume it's caused by some indexes RPC/nodes missing info. We've put together a report for 26 known cases that are escalating that internally within Edgenode to see if there's anything we can do to improve this. Okay, awesome, awesome. Sounds like there's motion in Edgenode to address this, which is great. Not sure which indexes are getting out of sync and if there's a pattern. Any maybe Mickey, if you want to just share some thoughts on this report that you're putting together, and if there's anything indexes can do to maybe help with the situation, it'd be great to hear your thoughts on that.
Sure. Yeah. Mitch did all the work, so thank you to Mitch for putting together the initial report. It looks like over the last year, just looking at reports of this within Telegram chats with our high volume tier 1, tier 2 customers only. So there TLDR, there are probably many more reports of this in Discord, but we just looked within the last 12 months, just our high volume user chats in Telegram. And with that scope, there are 21 incidents, but 26 different indexers involved, and then 13 users were affected. So the indexers, we do see Marc-Andre and the Streaming Fast indexer at the top of the list. They each have 4 counts of issues, but I'm wondering if that's probably just because, like Marc-Andre, for example, I think is number 1 by query served on the network, if I recall. So they might be at the top of the list just because they're serving more queries, possibly. But anyway, so we have Ellipra, Streaming Fast, Wave5, Sunsu, P2P, Pinex is on the list. 𝗨𝘀𝗀, I'm not really sure how to say that indexer's name. Notify, Differential Graph, POPS2, Ryabina, OXFury, Luna Nova, and then 1 unknown indexer. So those are the ones that have that we've noticed have served incorrect data to users. Yeah, the naughty list. We're not really calling it. I mean, these are great indexers we know who have good quality of service. Obviously, they know how to do their job super well. So something's going on. We assume it's an RPC issue. But yeah, trying to track down more information internally and see if there's anything we can do to improve this. Edgenode previously was considering a pilot of an inline query result cross-checker at the gateway level, but we don't have resources to finish the coding needed to ship that unfortunately. So we won't be able to do that. So we're kind of back to the drawing board, seeing if there's anything else we can do to improve this. But what we would love from indexers, so if the support team gets a report of you serving, incorrect data to a user and they reach out to you, you already do this now, but we would just super appreciate, continued participation, responding to support, and whatnot. So anyway, we'll try to do our best to track down more satisfying answers. At this point, we're still investigating.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Thank you so much for adding the context there. It sounds like something that's in motion right now. So, yeah, best of luck with that. And as you mentioned, indexers can support there as well. Let's see the chat here. How's it going? Yeah, yeah, I noticed lots of query results. Yeah, data incorrectness. Okay. Just saying, not for when indexes are lagging behind or anything else like that. It's just takes into consideration when indexes are responding with data that is different from what should. Okay. I think the biggest thing is when we. I think Vince is saying. I think the biggest thing is when we get reports from reports where we're being naughty, it's not drilled down. We don't know what to do to fix it. Rewinding seems only option, and often doesn't fix the issue. I'm forced to close. Hmm. I see Mitch is typing in response, perhaps to that question. So, oh, that statement. So that's good. Question there saying, I wonder if it's just to do with different RPC setups. Perhaps. I think that's kind of what if I'm not mistaken, Mickey was alluding to earlier. Yeah, she was saying some indexers RPCs nodes missing info. So perhaps, yeah, that's the likely culprit as you were saying there. Yeah. If that report comes with the POI divergence, block number, rewinding and fixing becomes trivial. Yeah, yeah. This is great. I'm glad we're ironing this stuff out. This is what this call is for. So yeah, it's great to see everyone super engaged on this topic. Yeah, most of the time it seems to be fixed with simply resyncing the subgraph. It seems to me like most of the time it's an RPC issue. However, there were a couple of times in which regarding rewinding, sorry, didn't fix the problem and we had to block the POI. Yeah, makes sense. Good stuff, good stuff. Wow, quite a few people typing on this. This seems to be uh, pretty engaged. Folks are pretty engaged on this topic. Yeah, it's a good question, Matthew. Thank you for bringing this up. Kate is, yeah, and this kind of stuff is really important because we want to make sure that the network is yeah, doing as best as it can. I have a broader question linked to this, but I'll pause because I see Kate has a question here. So would some of the client inconsistencies slash versions with sorry, would some of the client inconsistencies slash versions with how they handle certain block metadata be contributing factor at all? She's asking a question about the yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, a question, I guess, for anyone looking closely. So Mitch, Mickey, any thoughts on that? Or anyone else have any thoughts on that? Very keen to hear. This is also probably part of a bigger issue we were discussing late last week. There are often issues where certain subgraphs will fail for some indexers at the same block and not for others, but there's no way to work out why they're failing. Yeah, that seems to be pretty. Um, yeah, I do remember a conversation on that, and yeah, seems to be quite a challenge. Aragon releases are like beta testing. It'd be surprising more than 5 indexes are on the same thing, if not latest. When they break something, you can't expect full releases sometimes in the span of 2 days. Who knows what that does to a POIs? Yeah, makes sense. Mm. Gemma asked the question to Vince. Do you call cache remove before rewind? Let's see, Vince he was typing. Feel free to come on mic if anyone would like to, if that's easier to respond to these questions or have this discussion. Or yeah, also helpful to have it on text as well, so we can have something written down so people can respond to it, and we can always come back to the conversation, whatever's easiest. Vince responds, maybe we need blessed releases, but that seems like a lot of overhead that seems like a lot of overhead tracking teams that aren't in the ecosystem directly. Yeah.
No, I was just asking about the metadata because it's been a subject of our ongoing investigations, and it seems like it could affect different subgraphs depending. And so I don't know if there's any resources we can gather to share, but it like, to your point, it's hard to keep track of all the different releases. And yeah, there isn't a consistent approach always between clients. So yeah, I just share that from our perspective. I genuinely don't know because I'm not an indexer, but I have been going down a lot of these POI rabbit holes and noticing these kind of variations. And I could see that impacting. So yeah, if there's anything we can do on our end to help, we're definitely thinking about that.
Amazing. Appreciate you raising your hand there and being supportive. Has anyone got any resources or any thoughts they'd like to share with Kate? Be awesome to, yeah, 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂. I like that. Maybe that's what we have to do when we're talking to Kate. It's 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂, especially if you have the both packers in the room. I like that. I like that. That's a gangster name. Indeed, indeed. It is pretty gangster. I like it. I like it.
Sounds cooler than trying to spell both of my last names for people over the phone.
Yeah, I'm a fan of 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂. I'm a fan of 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂. It's dope. It's dope. Real nice Tupac meme in there as well. Love it. Love it. I love it. This is great. This is great. So yeah, any thoughts, anyone, any resources to share? That'd be great. My vote for Aragon Tech to be core dev maybe would my vote for Aragon Tech would to be a core dev. Maybe we would get Aragon Arbitrum sometime this year. Yeah. Tube. I like what you did there. I like what you did there. I like what you did there, Mickey. That's very good. I feel like that's a lyric. 1 pack, 2 pack, 3 pack, 4. Some song has that? I feel like I've heard that. That seems. Ah, there you go. That's it. Eminem, of course. Is that in a diss or something? It must have been a diss. Perhaps, I don't know. It sounds like it, but it was a diss. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do recognize those lyrics. Matthew's asking, with the latest changes in Geth, do we even need if oh, he's in response to Aragon Tech. Yeah, okay. Um, if Nitro I think that's adopts the upstream Geth changes. Um, oh yeah, that's a great movie. That is a fantastic movie. Oh, forgive me, RTFM? What is I'd have to Google that. What is that? Oh, read the effing manual, I think, right? The fine manual. That's the safe for work version. Use the other F. Nice, nice. I've only heard the one with the F bomb, but yeah, interesting. That's a more safe for work version. I like it. Read the factual or the full manual? I guess full manual probably works better. I've heard much. Read the fungible, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Read the factory manual. Manual. I like it. I like it. This is good. This is good. Um, Carlos is saying something better come out this year, or we're ending up with 35 or 40 T, which I'm assuming is terabytes. Archive nodes for ARB. Yeah, that's going to be very large. This No, I mean we've actually we seem to have not been so keen on the soundboards. It's interesting. There was a period where everyone was very yes, yeah, Gert, yeah, Gertops. Yeah, there was a lot of memes and jokes around that. That was quite funny. Are you looking forward to that's okay. That's soon. Um that's yeah. Large, very large, very large. Okay, well, if anyone has any additional thoughts on that, feel free to fire away. If not, I will swiftly move on to the next topic in today's conversation. So, I was having a chat with Mickey, and she flagged something really cool from the semiotic team that I'd like to share with people. Just going to grab a link and ask if anyone has read this post that recently came out. Let me just paste it in the chat. It's pretty interesting and could lead to a pretty good conversation in IOH. So I wonder, first of all, has anyone read the post yet? And if so, do you have any thoughts? And yeah, let me know. I'd be keen to hear if anyone has actually read it. And if not, then I would recommend a read for sure. And then I see a few people typing, so let's see if anyone's got any thoughts on this. Yeah, a couple of people typing. Out of curiosity, do you guys run your own fire hose? Good question. Anyone running their own fire hose wants to share some thoughts? And then Mark Andre saying Reddit was going to experiment with a tool. Has anyone done this? Can permissionlessly fill out my fill out my fire hose holds with this. Yeah, sorry, that was a mouthful. Yeah, actually is Joseph on the call? Yeah, Joseph's here. we have so I've been also going back and forth with Joseph on this and a few other semiotic folks. We are organizing a larger conversation on this. But if you have any thoughts, Joseph, on Marc-André's question there, would love to hear. Since I believe you do have a little bit of context. I know that there's other folks who've been leading the initiative, but if you have any thoughts on that there, or any other indexer actually really who's experimented with the tool, that would be awesome. For you guys to share your experience and maybe help Marc-André there.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
So the use case originally for doing this was exactly what you're talking about, Marc-André. So the idea that an indexer could give you an existing collection, a complete working collection of firehose, the flat files required for running a firehose archive node. So you could simply get those files from another indexer, run it through the tool, and it will verify that they are in the canonical history of the chain. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, that's definitely a use case that yeah, I wanted to solve for a while, because I don't think there's a real market or real or it's not commonplace for indexers to share the Firehose files right now. But with this, I guess it becomes much safer, so we can be sure that the files that we're getting are valid and they're correct. So that's a great use. And yeah, it's sometimes when you run a Firehose stack, sometimes you get holes for no reason. It happened to me a few times, and every time it's a pain to rewind some nodes to process them again and everything, and that can take some time. And yeah, if I could just connect to another Firehose endpoint, I don't know if it's possible, but if I could have a tool to connect to maybe another Firehose endpoint, download the missing files, and copy them on my end, that would be perfect. Sorry, I have to drop off, but I'll be listening to the recording for the answer.
All good, all good. Thanks, Marc-André, for chiming in there. He seems to have gone now, but yeah, that's a great question, and he'll. Oh yeah, I guess wait, let me pause because he'll rewatch this, so maybe you want to share some more thoughts, Joseph, for him to watch in the recording.
I was just going to say, I mean, that's exactly what it's for. The only and the so far the proof of concept's been developed for Ethereum, and I think there's kind of Solana and Arbitrum in the pipeline. I stopped working on this project in December, but I did work on a lot of the actual code for the proof of concept. And then I was just going to say the big dependency to running this tool is running your own consensus node in the case of Ethereum, because that's what you have access to a trusted one, which is a big ask for many people, but shouldn't be a problem for most indexers.
Gotcha. So hopefully that's helpful for him to listen to when he watches the recording. I see Vince is typing, so maybe there's a follow-up question there. I'll make space for that. So
I guess just while people are typing, a shameless plug is that around this project we developed, because we were working with Rust and Firehose, is that we made some kind of very simple but I think useful tooling that's open sourced for using Firehose in Rust applications. So if anyone's interested, they can check that out.
yeah, definitely. If you want to post some links in the chat, please do share. Sounds like Louis is also quite interested as well. So yeah, fire away. And yeah, I would love to share that with people. And it seems like Vince has also shared something here as well. Here I am plugging the Firehose charts. You can chunk file gaps automatically with RPC Polar or remote reader. Awesome, amazing. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, also feel free to share as well, Joseph. That'd be pretty cool. In future IOH, can you do a demo for Firehose? Oh, there's a request here for Vince. Is that something you're up for? So Matthew's just asked, in a future IOH, can you demo? Can you do a demo of Firehose remote reader? Yeah, no problem. Okay. Well, I will organize that with you as well. So I'm just gonna make sure I write that down so I don't forget. Bear with me a moment. Okay. Boom. Done. Okay. On the to-do list. I will make sure to follow up with you, Vince. Back. Sorry for. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Uh. Joseph just responded to what you were saying there, and so you're when you listen back to the recording, you'll be able to kind of catch all that was said there. So no need to repeat. Yeah, listen to the recording. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Okay, we solved everything while you were. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. And yeah, thanks for posting the link there as well. Joseph, that's awesome. Yeah, it's always good to share alpha like that. So yeah, and I will follow up with you as well, Vince, as relates to that topic there. Okay, scrolling back up through the chat, seems like Mickey's responded to Louis' question there about searching within chat in Discord during an event. Hopefully that was helpful. And I have a question before we move on to the next topic. There was a tweet that went out like a while back, yeah, about a week ago, basically saying that the graph feels like an abandoned project, and there was like a long Twitter thread on this. I think it got like 100K impressions, which was quite large. Bunch of people commenting and stuff, and yeah, a lot of people in here also commented as well, which was fantastic. But yeah, I wanted to kind of just flag stuff like that, and um, flag if that comes up, how as a community we can address that. I know that there's a lot of conversation in within the ecosystem at the core dev level, and a lot of people chimed in, and a lot of people from different ecosystems, and I think it was like handled pretty well. But I wonder, like, if anyone has any thoughts, anyone's seen that, um, or any thoughts of how indexes can support whenever we see these kinds of things. If anyone has any thoughts, so these things are always internalized. Many times, one-handed doesn't even know what the other is doing. So public perception is that we did subgraphs 5 years ago and called it a day. Okay, interesting. Yeah. He followed up. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was quite uh um responsive to a lot of the things that were being said, and revised his position, and I think it was handled pretty well. Um uh um so yeah, that was great to see. It was crazy um uh how much traction it got, though, and a lot of people were talking about different kind of alternatives and stuff, and so I was just wondering, like, if there's ways that we can support as indexes, because you guys work super hard every day to make sure the network is working optimally. So I'm going to make sure that um, there's some ways that we can kind of like make sure that work is recognized at a public level. Um, so yeah. Uh, Zero exposure, the main tweet versus 100K. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's always the case with these kinds of tweets, right? Like, it starts off like the first tweet is always the one that gets the most traction, and then people tend to kind of like read the thread, and you know, those subsequent tweets get less views than the original tweet, so it does make sense. Yeah, I was just writing in the chat, like what I can do is note down everything that has been said in the chat, and circle back on, well, yeah, circle back, and yeah, talk to you, Pili, and then maybe forward this up to some folks at the foundation, and yeah, figure out how we can navigate this, or just at least get this stuff uh sure, yeah, okay. Yeah, if you want to DM me the list, then I can add that to the notes, and then we can take it from there. It's rather long and on paper. Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe snap some pictures of it and then send it to me in the DMs, and then I'll try and get that forwarded on to the relevant folks, and make sure that it's responded to. Yeah, because yeah, I appreciate you going through the effort of writing everything down, and yeah, we can try and get that sorted. Yeah, thanks everyone for chiming in on this. Really do appreciate it. POAP. So POAP is always in the agenda, but I will paste it here. It is Hola, which is a very lovely POAP name, or POAP code. There it is. So yeah, if you just post that into the chat there, yeah, Pili was the one who put that together. She always comes up with the best names. So that's awesome. I just found the solution. Solution to what exactly? There's a lot of things. 42 is always the answer. Each POAP is a name. No, stop. Why are you making me do this? No, Eureka. Damn it. Oh man, Vince, you want to see me suffer. Oh no. You're giving Pili ideas. No, don't. Don't torture. Pope, or poi. Yeah, I say POAP. I don't know how people pronounce it. But I wonder if anyone has a different way of pronouncing it. I say POAP. But yeah, I think I'm right. I haven't been corrected yet, so if I am wrong, do correct me. But damn it, okay. I will try and pronounce whatever. I'm correct. Okay, same. POHAP, POAP. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will. I'm just using. Oh, okay. Pooap. Some people say, yeah, POAP. POAP? POAP. He's the founder, so yeah, fair. POAP. POAP. I say POAP. POAP is incorrect, I think. Pope. Yeah, there you go. Well, there's the POAP, and as Mickey said, Patricio, is that how you pronounce his name? I think that's how you pronounce his name. He says POAP. They need a new name ASAP. Yeah. It might be nice to have someone from the foundation on IOH who can speak directly to the indexes about what we can do to better support the network progression. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. There is a larger conversation that was kicked off a while ago, as it relates to like a more yeah, definitely would be great to have Slim on board. I think he's busy at the moment, but yeah, Slim. I'm kind of waiting on a few updates from him. Hopefully, we can get those soon. But yeah, there was a conversation that started off. I will follow up on that from the foundation about like a larger discussion about more strategic stuff. But yeah, I will follow up on that, and I'll try and push for that as well. But the network progression or the network's progression or the network's progression or both? I'm confused. I'm not sure what's meant there. The network's progression or the network's progression? Confused. But it's a good suggestion, Derek. Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much, Mickey. Okay. Let's wrap today's conversation then. I was just with him before on a call. He was planning on attending, but I'm assuming something came up. Yeah. Okay. I followed up with him before the call. But I'll do it again. Oh, how we can best support the graph moving forward. Yeah, good point. Okay, I'll follow up with Slim, and I'll follow up with what you said there, Derek, about how indexes can best support. I wish you guys a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you everyone for chiming in today. This was really helpful. I'm going to write a bunch of notes about everything that was discussed, and I will try and get some follow-ups for you guys as well. Okay. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you again same time next week for a discussion on hypergraph. Take care everyone. Bye bye.